welcome back. You're watching hashtag VKS994. I'm back with a new interesting topic. Let's go through it. This is Kavya, pursuing Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics and Communication Department at Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. I am here with a topic of introduction to civil engineering. Under civil engineering, I am going to explain about the manufacturing of cements. Before going to the content, please like, share and subscribe this channel. The content. What is cement? Mixture of raw materials and burning of cement. The mixture of raw materials and dirt, they are done by two methods: dry process and the wet process. And cement industry, manufacture process of cement in the dry method. And the conclusion, let's go through one by one. The first is, what is cement? Cement is a finely pulverized ground material, darken gray in color. You can see in the image, which is darken gray in color, having an adhesive property, which mix with water and use as a integrated to prepare the cement, which are called as mortar and concrete. Again, the mixing of raw materials and the burning of the cement. The major raw materials are used in the manufacture of cement are calcium, silicon, iron, aluminium. These are the minerals are used for the different form as per the availability of the minerals. See, this is an burning machine where the cement of manufacture is done by the one process, and these are the raw materials are used in the manufacture of cement, which are iron oxide, aluminium oxide, limestone, silicon oxide and the calcium. These are the raw materials. Without these raw materials, we cannot manufacture the cement. These are the main raw materials are used for the manufacturing of cement. The next is a mixing. The procedure of the manufacture of the cement is done by the two methods. The one is the dry process, the another one is the wet process. See, the dry process you have, which is like in the powder form, which is known as a dry process. The another, which is like wet process, which is mixed with water, which is wet process of cement. The dry process is which is like powder form, which is not mixed with water. Let's go through the dry process. Dry cement. The dry cement, both are the raw materials firstly crusted in and to get 2 to 5 size of pieces separately. Again, this crushed materials are again grained to get a fine particular in the ball or the tube mild, and the minerals are mixed with the required proportion to get the darkened remixed with the stored slow and ready to send in the rotatory kiln. The raw materials mixed with a specific proportion, so their average composition of the final product is maintained properly, which is, see, you can see in the picture, that is an dry cement. The next one is the wet cement. The raw materials are firstly crushed with a made up of powder form of stored in the silos and the clay, in which is washed in the washing mills to remove the othering organic matter found in the clay, and the powder limestone and the water was clay are sent to flow in the channels to transfer the grinding mills, where they are completely mixed with paste in which is paste in formed. This is the wet cement, which is mixed with water. The cement manufacture industry. This is an industry where this type the construction which is done, how the process it has in the cylindrical shape, this where we design the manufacturing of cement industry. where the cement is manufactured. This is an picture of the industry. Difference between the dry and the wet. The dry process and the wet process. See, the dry process. These processes are usually when the raw materials are very strong and hard. In the wet process, these processes are generally used when the raw materials are soft, because complete the mixing is not possible unless water is added. In this process, the raw materials are changed to powdered into the absence of water. In the wet process, this is the process the raw materials are changed to powder the presence of water. See, in the dry process, the dehydration of zone required somewhat shorter distance than the wet process. In the dehydration of zone, which requires the half of the length of the clean, easiest to control the chemistry and better for moist raw materials. In the dry process, the 74% of the cement is produced, where the 26% of the cement is produced in the wet process. The clean less fuel requirements, highly fuel in the wet process. Again, in this process where the absence of water is present in the dry process, but the presence of water is in wet process. I'm going to explain the process of the cement by the dry process. See, this is and the flow and the process of the dry cement, how the dry cement is manufactured. See, before the cement, the dry cement, the cement should be prepared by the wet. Again, it should be heated, which forms as a dry formation. See, the clay and limestone, that are the two raw materials. The limestone is a raw materials, are both combined and form into the raw mill. With the raw mill combine the both the clay and the limestone. Again, the both are in the raw mill, they are sent into the raw mill silo. Silo is nothing but the shape, the way the manufacture of cement is done in process. Again, the silo is sent to the suspension preheater, where the cement is heated. Again, where it divides and heated and again with combined with together, and which sent to the rotatory kiln, where it completely mixed all the process of which completely mix. Again, and it forms as a wet, it will be the wet and the cleaner silo. Again it is sent to the cement mill, where jumps are separate, passes through the cement mill. Again, it will be stored in the cement silo. Again, it will be dispatched to the where the cement is used for the construction of buildings, and the way they needed the cement, they dispatched from one place to another place. Like this, the cement is dispatched. There are some of the again the packages, the manufacturing process is done by like this. Let's go to the steps one by one by the dry process. How the process, before we have seen the process of the flow chart, these are the steps one by one. There are totally only 4 steps of the dry process. Let's go through one by one. The stage 1, with this sand, clay, limestone and other materials are needed for the manufacturing of cement are acquired. The acquired material is transported to the cement factory is via truck. This stage 2, the clay and the cement shall mix it to 80/20 proportion. The wet process of the manufacturing adds and water to create and jelly paste. Again, the 80/20 mixture is clustered as a ball or roller mill. Less than 90% of mu meter additional sand or iron oxide may be added. Again, in the stage 3, they are preheated. With the 900 degrees Celsius, it falls through a preheated tower. The wet process introduced and cleaned to dried at 200 degrees Celsius, and the mixture is then heated at the maximum of 1500 degrees Celsius in the rotatory kiln. The cleaner that removed from the kiln is cooled and milled into the power form. The power form mill is packed and sold as a Portland cement. These are the steps of the dry process cement. Architecture begins where the engineering ends. Again, lastly, but not the least, the conclusion of the civil. Less cost due to the peak speed of the construction As the technology is developing, the easier construct of the complex form and the shapes can be used as recycled materials such as a clay, ash, rubber in the mix of bonds well which the most surface. The use of the innovative technology is increasing the day by day, and the procedure for its proper performance as was developed and the high quality work of regularly obtained. For the main any construction, the cement is a main process. So for the any construction of with for the brick attachment, the cement is a main thing. This is a conclusion of the civil. As an engineer, we were going to be a position to change the world, not just to study it. Okay, once as an engineer, we were not going to be a position to change the world, not to study it. Thank you, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.